Hello, today I welcome you to my world of watches, and in this video I'm going to show you pretty much everything about this Seiko Alpinist SPB123. Let's see what it's all about. So today we got something a bit different from the usual reviews. As you know, on this channel we are focusing more on the budget timepieces, but this time I've got a watch that costs roughly $800 new, but I've got a chance to review this one and there's no way I'm saying no to that. This Seiko got to my hands because of a friend of mine. He had lent me the Orient Cano and the Seiko Kinetic, which I did reviews on, and this time he had lent me this beautiful Seiko. This was also one of the pieces that expanded my watch knowledge, as I do not have any Seikos in my collection, so that was a huge plus. We'll talk about the Alpinist line in general. This is not what usually would cross my eyes, but this watch pretty much has a cult following and quite a nice history, so that is a huge win. In the next video, we will be taking a look at the Seiko SNKL43, so if you're interested in the review of this one, make sure to subscribe. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this timepiece, so let's dive a little deeper and let's take a look at this one. I want to start with a brief history of the Alpinist line. Seiko released the first Alpinist model, which was named the Seiko Alpinist Laurel, back in 1961. They were created focusing on the Japanese mountain climbers. They needed something robust, durable, and that was the Seiko's answer. Also, this was the first attempt of Seiko to produce a sports watch. As the years passed, Seiko improved on the models, changing the design along the way, and in 1995 the main design for the Alpinist was created under the Prospex line and had the main sports watch characteristics like a sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance and such. And this one, the SPB123, was released in 2020. Not only practical but also very wearable. It measures 39.5 millimeters in diameter, about 13.5 millimeters thick, 46.5 millimeters lug to lug, has 20 millimeter lug width, and weighs about 86 grams on the supplied leather strap. It sits very nice on the wrist, but I do have to say that for me it seems to wear a bit bigger than 39.5 millimeters, more like 41 I'd say, and you can definitely feel it when you take it into your hands. It feels very sturdy, very well built. The lug-to-lug distance is rather normal on my 7-inch wrist, so it looks good and it is comfortable to wear. Continuing down to the band, we got an olive green leather strap with calfskin underneath. Done nicely. There's what stitching to kind of match the dial. As it is not my watch, I don't know how fast would the leather break in, but it seems to be quite soft, so it shouldn't take long. The thing that took me a bit of time to figure out was the clasp, and I can't say that I like it. It is, I guess, a butterfly clasp, if I can call it that, with double pushers. You push them and the clasp opens nicely, and if you push the two buttons again, you can then move the leather strap into the desired position. The main reason I don't like it is that when you try to close the clasp on wrist, oftentimes your skin gets in the way and it pinches it. This happens with most of the butterfly clasps, but on this one it occurs quite often. Nevertheless, again, it feels very well done, doesn't wobble, it also has Seiko branding on it and a brushed finish which matches nicely with the watch case. Speaking about the finishes on the case, they are almost immaculate. Every part except the top of the lugs is polished, highly polished that is, and here's one of the places you can feel where your money goes to. They've done a great job, there are no imperfections, and I like it a lot. Different polished sections makes it play with the light nicely. One thing that I'd want here is at least something on the crown. Maybe it is just me, but when you're paying this much money, I expect the little details like the crown sign to be acknowledged. This being a watch from the Prospex line, it means that pretty much everything is on a higher than usual level. This is also seen on the movement used too. It houses a 6R35A automatic hacking and hand winding 21,600 beats per hour movement with a staggering 70 hours of power reserve, so that means you can easily leave it for almost 3 days without needing to wind it. Also, it has a rating of -15 to +25 seconds a day. The hand winding is very crisp, you can hear every gear turning. Overall, there's nothing but positive things to say about the movement so far. The dial is covered with a sapphire crystal, which is, I guess, expected on a watch that costs this much. Now we come to the main star of the show, and that is the dial. There is so much going on, it's even hard to start with something. First of all, this is a champagne dial, not a cream color but a sunburst champagne gilt dial. The indices are gold color, matches beautifully. You really have to see it in person to get the full effect. The equal hours are displayed in Arabic numerals and the unequal hours are these triangles. I like that they went with equal hours as numbers as the dial appears more symmetrical. Another thing that makes it stand out are the cathedral hands. I think they suit the watch so well, even though it is essentially a tool watch, so we would expect something more bold, but these look just fine. To match the markings on the bezel and the chapter ring, the text of automatic, 20 bar and the Prospex logo is printed in black. The inner bezel, which serves a compass function, is exactly the same color as the dial, but it doesn't have the same shiny effect that the sunburst dial has. It is more of a glossy finish. By the way, it moves with the crown at the 4 o'clock position. The action is very smooth and it doesn't screw on, so a lot of times it just moves when the watch is on your wrist. So if you have OCD, you might have some problems because the inner bezel is almost always not aligned. There is a date window at 3 with a small cyclops. Looks rather nice, and most of the times I like the cyclops on the watch, but in this case, I don't really know how I feel about it. It serves a purpose, magnifies how it should, but at the same time it looks kind of out of place and I think it would look better without it. That is just my 2 cents. The lume is just great as it is on pretty much all Seikos. It is very bright even though not many parts are lumed, but you can still see the time in the dark. And I really like the effect when you stand outside or near a window for even a little bit of time, and as soon as you step into a shadow, it glows very brightly. Lastly, I want to talk about the overall design and wearability of this watch. Even though this is an Alpinist, a tool watch as the name suggests, I feel like somewhere along the line it has lost its purpose. This happened with a lot of watches as we move through the years with all of the new technology and stuff. I know my opinion won't be for everyone, but I don't see many people going with this champagne dial 39.5mm watch on a leather strap and using it as it was intended to. When you take it into your hand, you don't think, yeah, this is a tool watch. The G-Shock is for that. It would be hard to watch a person climb rocks with this beautiful watch on, even if it was created for that. And then you would think, okay, then this is a dressy watch, right? But the thickness is 13.5mm, it won't go easily under a cuff of your shirt. The dial is quite busy with a compass feature, a cyclops and 2 crowns. These are not dress watch characteristics. That is why I've said in the beginning of the video that I have mixed feelings on this watch. I don't really know what it is. Nevertheless, this watch has premium features and looks wonderful. Maybe I'm just a bit confused. So there you go, here's my full review of the Seiko Alpinist SPB123. Would I recommend it? In this case, I can only ask you to judge by yourself. It costs quite a bit of money, but then again, you get a history of not only Seiko, but the Seiko Alpinist line in general. And the specifications are there. The movement, the sapphire crystal, the design, the water resistance, everything is there. The only thing to decide is if this watch is really for you. I've had a great experience with this watch even for a short time that I've had it, but it is just not my style of watch. But maybe it is for you. I will leave links in the description down below to where you can buy this watch, and if you have any sort of questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below. And if you like my video, please leave a like and also consider subscribing and hitting that little bell so you'll get notified when I upload a new video. And now thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.